Hey, Sonny, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Kickstarter. There's a lot of buzz going around about Adventure Conqueror King. Have you heard of that before? Me telling you about it? So what is Adventure Conqueror King? That's the question. The answer is it's like a sword and sorcery kind of vibe of Conan style D&D, but it's very comprehensive in scope, right? Because it's not just well, let me back up a little bit. I mean, the gameplay is based on BX, right? Essentially. And it's advertised as largely compatible with 85% compatible with BECME. Or sorry, BX. But it's not just about like doing dungeon crawls and whatever and you know going all the way to become having a stronghold like you would in the expert rules, but it kind of it's a little bit like Beckme where it takes you all the way from first level up to you can become basically a king, right? So it's called Adventurer Conqueror King because you can kind of go through those stages, and it's also named after the Conan the Barbarian um, books as well. The Conan the Adventurer, Conan the Conqueror, Conan the King, like that. So um, some classic. Uh, is it Robert E. Howard? Anyway, um, so this is the product. Check out how good it's doing on Kickstarter, bud.
Whole lot of money.
Yeah, I mean he smashed this goal, and apparently he smashed this goal in like a really quick time. I think he said I was watching him being interviewed in another video, and I think he said that in 15 minutes he had his $50,000 goal. So
Well,
yeah, he's doing awesome. I feel really good, really happy for this guy. His name is Alexander McCrease, and he's a good guy. He's got his head on straight when it comes to thinking about things in a lot of ways. So that's nice. Um, okay, so now here's basically a look at the product. I wish I could zoom in on this, but I guess some of the available things are, of course, like three books, right? A monster manual, which actually looks pretty huge, looks cool. A judge's journal, that's your DM guide, right? And a player's handbook. It's a player rule book, though. Looks like
yeah,
there's color illustrations in there, and you can get, if you support it at a certain tier, you can get it in this slip case. It looks like it's made of wood. I don't know if it is
pretty
for
cool.
real, but yeah. And then there's a DM screen, but I don't know what it looks like. What do you think about like the symbols and stuff for the different books? You got like a Medusa, and you got like the wings and a sword.
I think that's pretty inventive.
Yeah, and then
Pretty
this
interesting.
this looks like a globe or a world or something. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they look a little plain, but they look very fancy though, and I think this is like premium leather books. So they would in real life, man, these would look very nice. Um, and so I think yeah, no, that's cool. And it's got obviously some full color illustrations in there as you can see. So should we watch the video, bud?
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
In an age of fading empires where chaos reigns, adventurers become conquerors and conquerors become kings. Welcome to the Adventurer Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint, the second edition of the acclaimed fantasy role-playing game. Built upon 12 years of playtesting and meticulous research, Acts 2 is the apotheosis of old-school fantasy gaming. No other game supports epic fantasy campaigns of such sweeping scope and majesty. Whether you want to crawl through dungeons, explore the wilderness, research the secrets of magic, run a merchant emporium, build a spy network, command a navy, raise a legion, rule a realm, conquer an empire, or even become a god, Acts 2 has the breadth and depth to support your playstyle. With Acts 2, the world isn't just at your fingertips, it's waiting for you to shape its destiny. Your saga begins now.
Thoughts, buddy?
Pretty cool. I like the style of it.
Yeah. So couple things there. First of all, the cover
In
of
an
the
age of fading
I just want to show it
empires where
again.
chaos
I'll get
reigns,
back to the
adventurers become in an age.
You know what? I might have to just refresh the screen because I want to get back to there we go. So this picture here is actually a throwback to the original Adventure Conqueror King. Because this is part 2. It's basically a second edition. Adventure Conqueror King. All right, let's take a look. Images. Yeah, so like right here. So here is this is like the original cover, right? And so it's kind of like like the next phase. So she comes out from behind the chair and engages in battle with this wizard guy, right? So it's a little bit of a homage to the original. I guess the second one is highly compatible with the first one.
Yeah.
And another thing is, so this is, I think, a way you could describe Adventure Conqueror King from what I've heard about it. Of course, I don't own it, I haven't played it. But I have kind of looked into it a fair bit. I think a way you could explain it is it's a lot like Beckme, but I think has more comprehensive rules on the different things that you would need to do. So you know how Beckme will take you from like a first level player all the way up to an immortal, right?
Yeah.
So this can do that, right? But I think it's got more and better and fleshed out and more comprehensive rules around, war battles and stuff like that. So Alexander Macrease is, very involved in wargaming and stuff. So he brings that stuff in. He's actually a very, very smart guy. So I've listened to him a lot. He's a very intelligent guy. So, he understands economics too. So he has put like economics elements in here. Although, he's had to kind of make it game world economics, so he can't really, go off of what's written in here necessarily for real world stuff. But yeah, so what does it say here? It says, enter a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile borders of men, where decaying cities teem with chaos, corruption, weeping innocents are sacrificed to chthonic cults, and nobles live in decadent pleasures while the realm burns, kind of like Nero, where heroes, wizards, and rogues risk everything in pursuit of glory, fortune, and power. This is a world where adventurers can become conquerors, and conquerors can become kings. Will you survive the perils of war and dark magic to claim a throne? or will you meet your fate in the forgotten ruin beyond the ken of men? Thoughts on that, buddy?
That's a nice description.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind this is um, kind of in the flavor of Conan, so a little less so, I guess, Tolkien fantasy D&D and more kind of like Conan style. But so it does kind of present you with like a bit of a uh, setting, right? Empires on the brink of war, fragile borderlands, decaying cities, things like that. So it kind of has this assumed setting. So if you don't really like that, that could be an issue, because you'd have to, I guess, ignore a lot in the book. But I guess some people buy Adventure Conquer King and just to use certain elements from it because it's so comprehensive about, different rules for different um, types of engagement, battle, things like that. So pretty extensive. Anyway, what are your thoughts on that, bud?
I think that's a very interesting idea. I like the craziness it embraces through the whole Conan thing.
Yeah, and I don't see us being able to get an awesome campaign going long enough to reach proverbial godhood. Even Beckme, where you get up to level like 36 or whatever it is, um, I don't think that we would ever get there. So I don't know. I think our sweet spot would be, level 7 or 8 or something like that. Probably
Yeah,
somewhere in expert. Um, but you know, that's fine. People that want to like play, I guess, different ways. Like if you don't want to just do a normal game, maybe you want to play play, some kind of a conqueror or something like that. Um,
someone
people,
cool properly.
yeah, yeah. It's like this is a way, a system where you can do that, right? So yeah, it says here the Venture Conquer King system Imperial imprint. So that's that where we get the II or Roman numeral two. It's basically part two, right? Acts two, second printing, second edition, I guess, more accurately. Yeah, is the new edition of the acclaimed best-selling fantasy role-playing game. Within the pages of Acts two, you'll find everything you need to enjoy epic fantasy campaigns with a sweeping scope, whether you want to crawl through dungeons, experiment with alchemy, crossbreed monsters, run a merchant emporium, raise an undead legion, and conquer an empire. Acts 2 supports your play style. And this is kind of interesting because, like, if you spend enough time in online RPG communities, you'll have seen someone post something like this. They need to make a game that has mass combat mechanics that work at every scale, or slash keep fighters competitive with mages, slash has figured out how to make thieves fun, slash has an economy that makes sense, slash could actually simulate my game world. And someone will inevitably respond, Axe already does that. So that's kind of interesting because I think this guy's claim to fame kind of has like a loyal following of people that recognize the comprehensiveness in his system and recognize that he has basically built out comprehensive rules that account for all this stuff, right? Basically whatever people want to do. And so Acts 2 is an upgrade from that.
12
um
years.
yeah, play testing for 12 years. And I guess, hours of methodical research and development. I do believe that his his stuff is very well play tested, so it's not really flying by the seat of his pants, and you know probably not pulling a Watsy where you know their game breaks when after you reach level 5 or something like that. And all of a sudden you can't hardly challenge your characters anymore, that kind of thing. Yeah, anyway, so here's some of the art. That looks very Romanesque to me. I wonder if the game has a lot of that influence in it.
Yeah,
Um,
Roman times are interesting.
yeah, since the inception of the old school Renaissance in 2008. Hey, I wonder what marks that date as the start. I know that it started on forums and the internet and stuff. People kind of wanting to go back to the old times. Um, and then it's going strong today. Any gamer seeking an old school RPG has a thousand options, but Acts 2 isn't like any of those games. And then this is what it talks about, the kind of stuff you get. End game action that's more than just a treadmill of higher hit dice foes. So I guess the game changes as you go, right? You become, you know, a person who builds and runs domains. You can have big wars and um, different things like that. You can become a god and that kind of a thing, which would be which is very reminiscent of Beck Me, right? Like the game kind of moves into different types of play. I just think that uh, Alexander McCrease has probably scoped out the rules where it's more comprehensive than Beck Me. So anyway, you get epic pitched battles as grand as any in fiction or history. Okay, so there's like mass combat battle rules, right? Because there's this isn't spelled out too well in a lot of D&D editions, right? If you wanted to do mass combat, so I don't know. I think he takes that those rules. He goes back to old wargaming to get that. Let's see, integrated in-game economics. That makes sense. Okay. So, and he's not a leftist, so he's going to understand a little bit about how economics works. So that's helpful.
And interesting things.
Yeah. We got a sandbox setting design that emphasizes player agency. Okay, so I guess somehow within his system, it's designed to be like a sandbox, meaning that the players really kind of create the experience, right, as they go. And it's not like a pre-packaged adventure that, you just kind of hop on the railroad, as they call it, and you go along the track and you hit the different destinations from point A to point B. Um, let's see, fractal design with modular rules. So yeah, I mean, you can pull out the rules and apply them in different ways, and I think people do that. People buy this game to do that. Let's see, scaling complexity with an easy to learn new player experience. Yeah, so I mean, it is based on BX basically. So I mean, it is simple, and that's good. BX is awesome. If you are creating your own games, modeling it after BX is kind of like the baseline. Where you're starting from is an excellent choice. Now it's going to have to get more complex, right? Because of all the stuff involved, And if one ever takes a look at, you know, uh, Beckme, for instance, or in the rules cyclopedia, I mean, it's just, there's a lot in there. Maybe we'll do a review of the rules cyclopedia sometime. Yeah, okay. Customizable, transparent construction tools. So that's kind of neat. Build your own custom classes, right? If you don't like the classes in the book, it has rules about how you create your own classes. So that's neat. Create your own spells, magic types. Well, that's interesting. So maybe if you wanted to create like a specific school of magic or something like that, create your own monsters, that kind of thing. So that really is kind of a neat element there. Um, let's see, fearsome fighters that can change the course of a pitched battle. Um, so what he means here by quadratic mages and linear fighters is with D&D, like the fighters start out powerful, but um, when you get up in level, it's really the mages that begin to shine, and the fighters are not to be compared with the mages at the higher levels, right? So here he's kind of offering a system where um, fighters can, continue to, I guess, um, hold their own in those upper classes, or so those upper levels, right? Um, and not have such a wide divide between mages and fighters. So, um, and there's some rules around that. Thrilling thieves. So this is something that's important, right? Like, have we fixed the thief class? And he's claiming that he has. Thrilling thieves that lead the way in dungeon delves and urban adventures. So in Acts 2, thieves are skilled experts from level 1 with special mechanics for shadowy senses, hasty searching, hijinks, and more. So uh, thieves can finally steal the spotlight. That is good because there really should be a special place for thieves, I think. And when you're kind of hamstrung with a weird um, you know skill progression system where it makes them like useless, uh, and also like the D4 hit dice is, I mean, I kind of like it, kind of don't, because it's very weak. um, but anyway, what do you think about all these things, bud?
Um, I think those are really good improvements since it's needed for stuff like fifth edition.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be old school gaming, right? So, uh, you wouldn't. I think a fifth edition player would feel a little bit out of their element in this, but they would probably, if they had an open mind, they would probably enjoy it. I mean, it looks like a pretty cool system. Now this art looks awesome. I love this.
Yeah,
Um, this that just looks great. That bad guy looks just really neat. The
he
red
looks
eyes, the
bad.
hood. Yeah. And he's like doing magic, and no, it's cool. All right, so the books are huge, right? The revised rule book, 560 page hardcover. It's like a premium um, leather book, right? So it's going to be very good quality. Um, so we've got, some full color art, 18 character classes. That's a lot. I'm told that there's no cleric, but the equivalent is called a crusader. And the reason for that is uh, he wanted to get away from OGL stuff completely. So nothing that could tie back to uh, Dungeons and Dragons intellectual property, right?
Yeah,
Um,
pretty smart.
yeah, yeah. I guess because he was working on this when the OGL thing hit, and I think that really kind of ticked him off. Kind of he felt like, oh man, I could lose everything here, and you know, so he didn't want to be at their mercy. I don't blame him for that. Um, So he has this thing in the game called proficiencies. Um, I guess they're like kind of like skills, but hopefully not as annoying as skills in like Palladium books. Customize your character with your taste without risk of skill traps, min-max chains, or uh, feat taxes. Okay, so that's interesting. I think that would be interesting to explore. 378 spells. That's probably a lot. Oh my gosh. Carefully calibrated for long campaigns. Equipment lists. That's cool. Dungeon delving mechanics. I wonder if they have like a dungeon building um, guide in there or something like that. Um, Wilderness expedition. That's good to have, rules for these different contexts. Sea voyage and naval warfare, combat mechanics, like a realistic simulation of ancient hand-to-hand battle at low levels, and cinematic emulation of legendary exploits at higher levels. Cool. Stronghold and domain rules. So we got hijinks and hideout rules for thieves. You can do magical research. That's BX. You can do magical research in BX. Mercantile, venture. All right, mass combat. So we kind of talked about that. So here's a bit of like a sneak peek. So if we click on that and have a look, first of all, it's got, I wonder if I can increase this a little bit here. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, like this. There we go. I just want to have a look at the art, take a quick gander. This is an interesting picture. I don't quite know what it is. It's okay. I guess they're like fighting their way through the underworld.
A little difficult to see what's going on, but it's pretty vibrant and cool.
Yeah. Oopsies. I'm trying to scroll over. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna zoom out. This one, it looks pretty AI art to me, and I don't really like it. But is what it is. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on the art so far?
Not bad. Definitely
Okay.
not the worst art I've seen.
No, not the worst. All right, so it looks like this is some combat abilities or something. Cleaving, this would be for fighting classes. Heroes can chop through weak foes quickly, often slaying two with one blow. Skilled archers fire as quickly, several arrows at once or whatever. Let's see. A combatant who has incapacitated or killed at least one target may take a 5-foot step and attack again. So I think the cleaving is basically if you kill somebody, you get another attack. So you can like kill, jump to another guy, kill, jump to another guy, kill as long as kill, keep killing, right? How's that sound?
Pretty cool and action-packed.
Yeah, I mean that sounds interesting. It kind of reminds me of like the extra attacks that fighters would get in Swords and Wizardry. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
So that's like original Dungeons and Dragons, and so fighters would get these extra attacks that they could um, use uh, per level, right? That's like an extra attack on a one hit dice monster per level. Uh, but I found that it could be a little bit, at least in Swords and Wizardry, it was a little bit irritating, and sometimes we would forget all about it, you know. And
yeah.
and also it was a little bit arbitrary because it's like you can like cut through one hit dice monsters like crazy, right? But
Yeah.
if it's a two hit dice monster, it's one hit. That's it. You know, so I don't know. Maybe this is a better kind of compromise. You know what I mean? Because here we've got, you can just keep attacking as long as you killed the last guy. So that's kind of, that conceivably you don't have to just limit that to a one hit dice monster, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the judge's journal. This is basically your DM's guide. Let's see. Foundational principles, explain how Axe is intended to run. Weather generation system, interesting. Based on real world Köppen climate codes, interesting. Um, Comprehensive monster encounter tables with 16 different terrain types. That's good. That's really good. System of terrain encounters, environmental challenges. That's good. Settlement encounter system with urban environments, random vagaries of war, battle. Okay, more than 150 marvelous magic items. Special rules for places of power, poison, magical transformations. Oh, so there's different parts to it. Okay, in part one, praxis. Okay, part two, construction. Um, I think what's praxis? Is that Latin for action? Let me look that up. Does praxis? Practice. Okay. Accepted practice is custom. Okay. Cool. Oxford languages. I don't even know what I clicked on here. I'm looking for word origin. Is it Greek? Anyway, that's fine. Sorry, going down a rabbit hole. So with this, so that's kind of like your practice or action, I guess, and then construction. So here's your building, the principles of setting construction using top-down zoom in methodology. Okay, that's cool. So it basically tells you how to build out a world, I guess. System of dungeon design, that's good. Explains how to structure a dungeon by size and level, how to stock it. That's cool. Comprehensive NPC creation. So it looks like it's got like everything that you could ask for. Let's see. There's a third part, abstraction. Let's see. Abstract dungeon delving. Allows your high level heroes to dispatch their minions to explore dungeons with resolution that reveals casualties and treasure. Oh, okay. So if you want to just send your hired goons in, it kind of has a system that works that out. All right. That's interesting. Abstract wilderness exploration. I guess you would need that, wouldn't you? As um, we're getting up into the Conqueror stage and you're hiring people to go, do things for you. Part five, customization. I have a feeling this is like a massive tome. uh, Creating custom classes, creating custom races, uh, system for custom spell creation, mechanics of custom magic types, set of variant rules to let you tailor the game to your preferences. Interesting. So it looks like this is a look at the DM guide here. Determining hit points, advanced characters. Tiers. Advanced characters may begin as adventurers. Okay, adventure tier is suitable for action and exploration. Starting experience points, all advanced characters in a campaign being with a fixed number of experience points. I guess you can start at, yeah, because of the many options that Axe offers for high-level play, some judges may wish to begin their campaigns with the player characters already at an advanced level of experience. Yeah, okay. So if you wanted to start at like kind of like high-level gameplay, you could do that to experience what the game is, in its own, in a separate phase of the gameplay, right? Cool. So it looks like it gives you some rules about, proficiencies and spells at these advanced levels. Multi-tier play. If you wish to embrace every facet of the Adventure Conqueror King system at once, you can allow players to act at all tiers simultaneously. In such campaign, each player has one king tier character, a powerful archmage, mighty warlord. Each king in turn has one or more henchmen. Oh, okay. So you have like multiple characters and they kind of play within the different, as an adventurer, as a conqueror, and as a king, like that. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Cool. What are your thoughts, bud?
I like it. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, it is cool. It seems pretty neat. Um, and of course the monster manual is always a lot of fun. 270 monster entries, full page description, of the creature's statistics, monster creation, rules. That is cool. I like that. Where you can create your own monster taming and training. Oh, that's very interesting. And you know what? There's not a lot about that in a lot of systems. Um, presumably you couldn't do that, but there's no rules usually about how you might, you know, train a Pegasus or something like that, right? Monstrous henchmen, monster part mechanics that let adventurers collect furs, ivory. Okay. In character commentary. Okay. I don't know. That's not really a selling point for me. Anyway. All right. So here's a look at the monstrous manual. Let's open that up, see if we like the art, first of all. All right, let's scroll down and look at that. Oh, that's interesting. What do you think those are?
Those
Looks like some kind of
orcs or ogres.
ogres. Yeah. Beastmen? Oh, yeah, maybe they're beastmen. They're very muscly. Okay. Oh, okay. So the beastmen can be berserkers, hunters, sappers, these different things. And all right. This is a lot of info. Now, some people like that, some people don't. So hopefully he's got like a stat block that will show you just what you need to know. That way he could satisfy people that are like, look, I don't want to read a whole book to, just to know about a monster. I'm not looking for a novel, just need some stats so I can throw a monster in there. So, and other people want to just make it up, right? So, this is kind of the route that modern D&D has gone, is like, huge entries about the monsters and stuff like that, getting into some very minute detail. Some people like it, some people don't. What's your thoughts, buddy?
I think I'd definitely play this. It seems pretty fun.
Yeah, well, what's your thoughts on the monster manual layout? Like it's a lot of information.
Monster manual layout.
Yeah, it's a lot of information. It's not concise. So, like if you think about old school essentials,
I'm the
which
kind
I
of guy who likes
prefer.
to read, so I don't know how much of a problem it'd be for me.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Like I do kind of I think there's a lot of beauty in the uh conciseness of old school essentials where it's just like, okay, well it's just a little thing. Here's your monster. And then you can kind of fill in the blanks where you need to. But yeah, no, I can definitely see where it's like, hey, I just want to enjoy this big, beautiful leather book I bought. I want to be able to, and maybe reading through some of this stuff, it'll give me some ideas about, what I want to have in my campaign or something like that. So I can totally see that. Um, all right, the judge's screen. I wonder if it's all right. It shows the outside of it. It's not showing the important part. I wonder if the judge's screen is leather. Let's see. Trifold reference screen. Yes, it is leather. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. That's going to be nice. And then 3-volume poplar wood slipcase. Yes, it is made of wood. Wowzers. So that's nice. Okay, something about Conan. We're pleased to announce we have partnered with legendary comics writer Chuck Dixon, creator of Bane and the Birds of Prey, to develop an Acts 2 sourcebook set in the world of Chuck Dixon's Conan. So here's some pledge levels. Here we go. So I think this is the most popular one. I'm surprised to see actually that this early bird special is still going. Like I thought it was supposed to be up to 200 by now
Yeah,
because I thought this was supposed to end today at noon, and we're on Eastern time. It's like 8:30 right now in the evening. So um, that's interesting. Anyway, this gives you all three books and the PDF versions, and you get the Dungeon Master screen. That's some coin though, like $175. Although these are going to be nice, great quality books, without a doubt. Um, that's you can be dropping some coin for that, right? There's also some other tiers, like you can just get the PDFs for $50. I'd never do that because I never get as much satisfaction out of the PDFs hardly. I mean, I wouldn't do it for something this cool, I don't think. I think I would just look, I'm gonna go all in and get it, or I'm not going to probably because, you know, I don't know. I would always want the hard copy. The PDF's never good enough. Although I do love to have the PDF because uh they're very handy to search through and stuff
yeah.
and take with you or whatever. Maybe you don't want to bring all these books. Maybe you just want to have the PDFs on your computer or something like that. Um, Conqueror, this is if you just want the player's handbook. Essentially, you get the hard copy, you get the PDF. King is you get the hard copy of the player's manual and you get everything else in PDF. And Emperor, this is interesting. So you get player's handbook, the DM's guide, and everything in PDF. And Demigod. Okay, so this is the one that we saw at the top that was 175. So this would be okay. Well, we had some technical difficulties there, so we're just kind of picking it off where we were. So yeah, there's these different tiers. You can go to I think Demigod. This is the one that was on the early bird special. So it goes up to $200 once the early bird special is over. And so it gets up pretty high in price, and then like $1,200. That's pretty big, and this one is unbelievable. $1,500, but you get 30 books, players manuals. I think if you have a large group of people that are interested, then you could split the cost on this, and then it would be worthwhile. But yeah, that's crazy. $1,500. So here's the stretch goals. I really like the little map here. I think it's fun with like all the little illustrations on there. And it looks like they are going through and slaying the different um, stretch goals, which is cool. You know, I don't think he really thought it would be quite so successful so quickly. I think he was a bit surprised, but that's good. Good news. What is this? Oh, this looks like a character sheet. All right. All right, third time's a charm. We keep having a problem with the internets. All right,
Yeah.
so this looks like a character sheet, and it has a two-hit chart, which is reminiscent of Thaco, but it's not Thaco because, well, it kind of is actually two-hit, and then we got armor class 0, but it's an ascending armor class, it looks like, right? So you need a 10 to hit armor class 0. You need a 20 to hit armor class 10. So, it's reminiscent of that old school a little bit, but not at the same time. So I know a lot of people don't like Thaco. I actually kind of like it. But yeah, this is I don't know, it's interesting. Anyway, uh well, Josh, it looks, oh, okay. Check it out. They've got a VTT for it, which is cool. Foundry module.
Oh yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Um,
Yeah, that's real
um
cool.
anyway, so thoughts on Adventure Conqueror King? Did it surprise you?
With the prices and stuff, a little bit.
Oh, with how expensive it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little pricey. I I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I have not backed it yet, and I'm not sure if I will. Just because I don't know if this is really the type of play that I'm really going after. I mean, it's kind of intriguing in a way because it's so all encompassing, and comprehensive. But at the same time, it's like, you know, do I really want to play at these super high levels? I'm not really sure. So I don't know. It seems like it could be overkill for me, but you know, I mean, it looks like a fantastic game though.
Yeah.
Cool. Is that something you'd be interested in, like playing at, say, like a convention or something?
Yeah, we play.
Speaking of conventions, we're going to a convention. There's a Mythic Con convention that is in North Carolina, and we're going to go to this one. And it has, it's a weekend in November, Mythic Con. So I just thought we could look at some of the schedule of events and just check it out for a little bit. So there's two Mythic Cons in this state of North Carolina. So um, there's one that is in November, that's in Charlotte, and there's another that is in March, which is in Asheville, and that's where the Biltmore Mansion is. In fact, I think it might be on the premises of the Biltmore Mansion. Do you know what that is? That's like that's the country's largest mansion
Yeah,
in the whole country. Yeah. So it's a place tourists can go. All
yeah,
right. Well,
pretty cool. I'm excited for it.
yeah, totally. So let's take a look at the event schedule in Mythic Con coming up in November. So, I mean, we can filter by RPG. There's a lot of like board games and card games. I haven't really been prioritizing those. Um, and I've been trying to avoid 5e stuff. I don't really know what Don't Die RPG is. There's quite a few of those. But I don't know much about those. Now, there hasn't been any old school essentials going, but there has been a lot of dungeon crawl classics, so I've been snatching some of that up.
Hmm.
Um, Lots of Savage Worlds. Oh, look, this one has 4 seats available if we wanted to try Savage Worlds, but actually we're booked up already for that spot. We're going to be playing um, Ravenloft in second edition D&D, so I don't
Yeah,
want to back out of that one. Um,
yeah, pretty cool.
yeah, that's going to be, I think, great experience. So, um, Flames of Rebellion. I don't know what some of these things are. Um, that's fifth edition. This is one that we're going to be headed into. Portal Under the Stars. Um, DCC. Hey, uh, okay, so there's one left. All right, cool. Um, Wild in the Streets, Castles and Crusades. So this one looked cool, but I think it was 18 plus, and you are not 18, my buddy,
Not yet.
and neither is your sister who's coming along. So um, that's oh, this one isn't. This was Teen 13. It was one of the others that was you know, I think the reason I didn't snatch it up is because there was only 2 tickets and we wouldn't be able to have everybody in. So
Yeah.
I wonder what this means in German. Nacht is night.
I think
Well,
that's Noctis is like sickness or something.
no, Nacht is night,
Oh, Noct.
nighttime, nighttime. But Wutende Nacht. Let's Google Translate it. That's it. I'm doing it. Wutende Nacht. Did I spell that wrong? I think I did. Oh crap. Where is it? Nacht. Yep. CHT in English. Angry Knight. There we go. All right. So that is interesting. Now we've got Gothic Touch. Well, that's a board game. So I've kind of shied away from the board games because I think those could be hit or miss. They could be really fun to do, and maybe we will do one. But oh, this is a LARP. Holy cow! I think this is a new entry, bud.
Oh, cool.
19 available. Friday at 6. We might have a conflict there because we're going to be doing Ravenloft, but it's
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade LARP. That's crazy. I've never done a LARP. Um, that's interesting. Um, I'm not sure how I feel about LARPs, but I almost signed up for this though. Clockwork Cats. It's like a board game, a play test. I think they're trying to get people to come in and give it a try. Arkham Horror 3E. I don't know what this is. Was this Batman? Let's check it out. All right, it's like a board game or something. Okay, it must be Batman then, right? Batman board game? Base game, Arkham Horror 3E, Board Game Geek. Let's check it out. Arkham Horror. Oh, this does not look like Batman. Okay, well, anyway, maybe it's fun. I don't know. We didn't sign up for it though. And if it's late at night and I have to learn like some complex game or something like that, that could be annoying to me.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, 8 p.m. Um, yeah, Cocaine Shark. Where's that? Right there. I don't, oh man, Cocaine Bear
Sounds fun.
was on TV a couple nights ago, and that looks pretty amusing, but not a very wholesome movie. Um, Clash of Cultures. Oh, what's this? The Frozen North Tier 1.
Comic book
Interesting.
super spectacular RPG.
Oh, cool. At 8 o'clock on Friday. I wonder if we could make. Oh, it's only got one. Okay. It's only got one left, buddy.
Uh,
Yeah, one ticket. Let's open this up and take a look at what it looks like. Spectaculars. You create a setting as you play the game. Open book of spectaculars. Okay, cool. All right. Well, anyway, that's interesting. So yeah, we kind of, this will be our second con that we'll be going to, and I think it's going to be a
be
great
fun.
time because this time we're not just kind of showing up and stumbling into things. This time we're actually signing up for things,
Yeah.
and it's going to be a good time. Um, all right, so let's check out what we got going on for. I think we were looking for Saturday night, Saturday evening, and Sunday morning. So this stuff is all Saturday morning. There's actually quite a bit more stuff now. Yeah, there's probably no huge rush to sign up at this point because I think there's still new entries coming in. This is Pathfinder PFS.
Yeah.
Sentinels of the Multiverse. Okay, I think that's a board game. Let's see. I think I think we're in this, bud.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's see. Saturday at 1, Saturday. Runehammer. Have you ever heard of Runehammer, buddy? Oh, this is a seminar. This is a class that you take for an hour. That's kind of a bad time because that's like premium playing time right in the middle of a Saturday. Who's gonna go? It's only it's only two people going in there right so far.
Yeah.
Speedia, BattleTech. Now we played BattleTech, wasn't it? Or was it? Gosh, it was a battle mech game or something like that in Texas. It's a war game with where you're in the battle mechs, so it would have had to have been the same
Yes.
idea.
I remember that. You died.
Yeah, I died really bad. You liked it though, I think.
I had a lot more fun because I was alive.
Yeah. To me, I don't know, it was a complex game, but it was simple in ways that I didn't like because it was very one-dimensional in that it was you have robots that are going around trying to shoot other robots, and that's the whole game. Outside of that, there's no role play, there's no story. There's nothing beyond that. But the actual mechanics of the game, it actually gets very complicated, like with all the different weapons you can have and the armor and the damage that happens and stuff. That it gets like it's like a brain teaser when you're just learning it. So I think they sensed my boredom, but
Mhm.
they kind of gave up on me, but they were still including you in there.
Yeah.
I almost signed up for Magical Kitties Save the Day just because I didn't like see anything going on.
Hmm.
But I think we might have some more. This is oh, is this another one? Or is this the one we signed up for? Gosh, I should look at the schedule. Anyway, let's take a look at Sunday. Unless there's also crafting events so you can like paint your miniatures and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Pedal to the metal. Yeah. Boats and Wenches. Vampire the Masquerade LARP. there's there's now two LARPs at least in the event, and we can sort by LARPs as well if we wanted to.
I
Sort
mean,
by LARPs and take the filter off of Saturday. Yeah, no, there's two.
definitely not the worst thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Vampire the Masquerade is meant to be LARPed. I think that's how it's played. But yeah, anyway. So here's Sunday. It's all going to be Sunday morning, probably, or most of it. Um, so yeah, this is one that I've been considering, a DCC one here, and then also this one, the Call of the Destroyer. Between these two, it's funny because this one is making fun of no joke, Gorlock the Destroyer. So who's Gorlock the Destroyer? Well,
We all
let's
know who
see.
Gorlock
Yeah.
is.
Gorlock the Destroyer. It's this guy. Oh man, that's like this fat tub lard guy that fancies himself a girl. So
My
um,
mama said when you had a little sugar, drink a Diet Coke and it'll cancel out the sugar.
um, it's nasty. Anyway, so that's the bad guy. So I mean that'll be funny, but it is fifth edition, and fifth edition to me is like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know because just the types of people that are playing fifth edition and like some of the possibilities within fifth edition, like I know that it's going to be like, oh, you're adventuring with a tiefling and a dragonborn, and it's like, okay, well that's silly. I just find that those weird races just, I feel like the fantasy breaks, like the, I don't know, it just breaks. Anyway, well, it looks like there's adding more stuff. Demon Mine. It's not even Christmas yet. Okay, I think that's probably a replay. Do you know much about Savage Worlds, buddy? I can tell you what, we're definitely not going to this one. Definitely not. And there's three
Weird
people
though,
that have
that's almost
signed
as
up for
bad as
that.
the Alien movies.
This is disgusting. This had better be rated 18 plus. And yes, it is good because that's terrible. Oh my gosh. Mass Effect. All right, cool. So, all right, well, so there's lots to choose from, bud. I think
Yep.
we're gonna have a great time, and we're gonna try and get some footage of the con, and put it up on the channel.
Without our
Anyway,
faces.
yeah. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Talk to you next time. Bye.